Hello and welcome to another video on the Night Ministries channel. I am your host, Jeremy Knight. Don't forget to like the video and enjoy the show. Okay. Hello. In this video, the topic will be how literal I take the Bible. So in this video, we are going to talk about how literal I take the Bible, how literal I take it. Not how literal you take it, how literal I take it. So we are looking at the literalness of how I take the Bible. I'm pretty sure that isn't a word, but I don't care. I want to walk you through how literal I take the Bible so that you will understand how surprisingly literal old earth creationism is when it comes to interpreting the Bible. Because I think there are a lot of young earth creationists out there that think that old earth creationism is an interpretation of the Bible that is not literal. They're wrong. It is literal. Old earth creationism is a literal interpretation of the Bible. Just differently literal. And in this video, we will learn just how literal of an interpretation of the Bible old earth creationism is. More specifically, the type of old earth creationism I believe in, which is day-age or day-era creationism. I prefer to call it day-era creationism because I don't like using the word age the way it is used by some people, because it doesn't make sense. So I prefer to call this day-era creationism. Okay? I just want to make sure that everyone viewing this video does realize that I do believe that the Bible is the true and holy Word of God. Just because I read it differently than young earth creationists does not mean that I don't wholeheartedly believe in it. I do wholeheartedly believe in the Bible. I believe every word in the Bible is truth and is the true holy word of God. Just want to make that clear. Okay? So don't go saying that I don't believe what I say I believe, because I do believe what I say I believe. I believe that the Bible is the holy, true word of God. Okay? Okay, so first up on how literal I take the Bible. Genesis 1. These are the creation days. Or, as I like to call them, the creation eras. You have 6 long eras of time. With definite beginnings and definite ends. So they have a defined beginning and a defined ending. Now, they're of varying lengths, but I do believe that the creation days are literal events that did happen. I just don't believe in 24-hour calendar day creation days like the young earth creationists. That's stupid. 24-hour calendar creation days is just it's stupid. The evidence is not there for 24-hour calendar day creation days. they have to be longer than 24 hours. They just have to be. Okay? Because, well, for one, there's no way of marking how long the days are for the first 3. And then, because, yeah, although you can see light on the surface of the Earth for the first 3, you can't tell where it's coming from. I'm going to make a longer video explaining this better later on, but there's really not much to talk about to summarize it. So I do believe in literal creation days that are long, finite eras, numbering millions to billions of years. So, yeah. Okay? One of the main reasons I believe in eras of creation, six eras of creation, is because of day 6, the one where man is created at the end of it. That's human beings in God's image, male and female. In that one, the human beings are created at the end of the day. Everything else occurs at the beginning. So it just makes sense that that day was longer than 24 hours. Because of the actions that Adam is doing at the end of the day, those had to have taken longer than 24 hours. Those actions that had to have taken years, and you can tell that by the words that he says to Eve, at long last. You don't say at long last at the last few microseconds of a 24-hour day. No, you don't do that. It's years. So it had to have been years. Because Genesis 2 is a summary of the final events of era 6, of day 6. Genesis 2 is a summary of the final events of day 6. So, and when Adam meets Eve, he says, at long last. And those are not the type of words you utter when you're meeting someone at the last few microseconds of a 24-hour day. No. That's not how that works. It was years. There's also day 7, which RTB and a lot of scholars will argue that day 7 continues into the present day, meaning God is still at rest. And we will join him in his rest. And in these first 4 verses of chapter 2, where day 7 is done, it is mentioned and referred back to the previous 6 as one day. So if the previous 6 can be referred to as one day, then it would make sense that all those days are longer than 24 hours, and day 7 is also longer than 24 hours. So it just makes sense for them to be eras and not days, at least not in the calendar sense. So I do believe that God created everything in 6 finite eras of time. 6 creation eras. So these are literal events that did happen, just not the way young Earth creationists think they did. The young Earth creationist is wrong. Okay? Okay, now I want to talk about Genesis chapters 6 to 9. This is the Noah flood story. Young Earth creationists believe in a global flood. I do not. I don't believe in a global flood. I do believe that there was a historical Noah. There was an actual guy named Noah that did build a boat, save his family from a flood, and save some animals from a flood. So there was a literal Noah. There was a historical Noah. I do believe in a historical Noah. And there was a real flood that did happen. I do believe in that. I just believe that the flood occurred further back in history than young Earth creationists. So, like, way further back in history. Like, go even further back, because I have a lot of time to work with, because I'm not constrained to a 6,000-year-old Earth. So, yeah, go further back than young Earth creationists do for when the flood happened. Because, remember, young Earth creationism is stupid. So, no, there was not a global flood. There wasn't. Because young Earth creationism is stupid. And yes, I will make a video explaining my beliefs about the Noah flood even further, but not in this video. I just want to make it clear I do not believe in a global flood. Okay? Okay, now that we got the early chapters of Genesis out of the way, let's talk about how literal I take the rest of the Bible. As literal as needed. Let's just put it that way. As literal as needed. What this means is that the historical parts of the Bible, the historical books, the historical narratives, I take them literally. And the rest of Genesis from chapters 12 to 50, that's a historical narrative, so I take it literally. And then you have the historical narratives in the Old Testament, Exodus to like think I'm not sure where the poetry parts begin, but I do know Job is poetry. Psalms is poetry and Proverbs is poetry. Then you have your major prophets and then your minor prophets. But yeah, the first few books of the Bible, those are historical narratives. So they can be taken literally. And then the poetry is taken as poetry. And then the prophecy is taken as prophecy. Prophecy is mostly just metaphors, figurative language. They're prophecy. A lot of the prophecy is fulfilled in the New Testament about Jesus, but it's prophecy. Okay? Prophecy is prophecy, poetry is poetry, history is history. And then when it comes to the New Testament, you have Gospels. The Gospels, they're mostly history and parables. They're like a mixture of history and parables. So you can take them mostly literally. And then you have Acts, that's the history book, so you take it literally. And then you have the epistles, those are letters. So you take them as moral lessons. They're moral lessons. So what this means is that the moral lesson of them is true, but there's no historical impact to them. The writings in the epistles is true. It's true moral lessons. And then you have Revelation. Yes, it is revelation, singular, not plural. And that is an apocalypse book. Basically, prophecy, metaphor, symbolism, figurative language. It's not literal. Revelation is a really difficult book to read. Maybe I'll do a video all to its own on Revelation. But yeah, I take the Bible as literal as needed. Okay? As literal as needed. Because you can't take the Bible 100% literally. No one does. It is impossible to take the Bible 100% literally. I would say I take it 92%. Because you always have to have that room in there for metaphors, figurative language, poetry, prophecy, parables, allegory. Yes, there is allegory in the Bible. And we'll discuss where the allegory is in a different video, but there is allegory in the Bible. You have poetry, you have figurative language, you have prophecies, you have parables. There's several different genres in the Bible, so you have to know how to interpret it based off of context and genre. You can't just take everything literally. You can't do that. So the Bible has to be given contextual interpretations. Practice good biblical hermeneutics. Practice good exegesis. Don't just make whatever you want up as you're going along. Interpret the Bible the right way, not the wrong way. There's a right way to interpret the Bible, there's a gray way to interpret the Bible, and there's a wrong way to interpret the Bible. Interpret it the right way, not the wrong way. Okay? You can't take it 100% literally. You just can't, okay? One more piece of advice. Anyone who tells you that they are taking it 100% literally is lying. Anyone who tells you that they take the Bible 100% literally is lying. No one takes it 100% literally. No one. Not young earth creationists, not flat earthers. No one takes it 100% literally. Young earth creationists like to pretend like they take it 100% literally, but they don't. Listen to how they read Revelation. You'll figure out real quick that they don't take it 100% literally. Flat earthers just manipulate it to death. That's all flat earth is. It's just misunderstandings and manipulations. That's all it is. But no one takes the Bible 100% literally. Anyone who says they are is lying. I also want to make it clear that reading the Bible is a learning process. You are always learning something new when you're reading the Bible. There is never a point at which when you open the Bible that you don't learn something new. You are always learning something new when you open the Bible. And I'm not trying to say interpret it my way, because my way is still changing. I am still learning new things when it comes to interpreting the Bible. So, I am saying interpret it the right way, not my way. Because I'm not sure if I have the right way. But I'm learning. And I have learned that young earth creationism is wrong. Flat earth is just stupid. There's no doubt in my mind that flat earth is stupid. Young earth is wrong. But I'm still learning. Everyone is still learning. Anyone who has stopped learning is stupid. Keep learning. Okay? I think I have said everything I want to say for this video. One more thing. The Bible is a great book. I try to read it as often as possible. I try to read it daily. I don't always succeed at reading it daily, but I try to read it as often as possible. Because the Bible is a great book. You also want to read Bible commentary books, books that people have written about the Bible, commentary books. Those really help. You want to read study Bibles, Bibles printed with commentary already in them. Those are very helpful. So, yeah, I really like study Bibles. The Bible is a very good book. Read it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell. And follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. This has been a video on the Knight Ministries channel. I am your host, Jeremy Knight, and I just want to say, see you next time.